Oh boy. So I'm glad you guys made it. I was a little concerned that some of you might not know how to operate this thing, but I think most of us should be used to this by now, the whole Zoom thing. Let me ask you this. This is going to help me determine how much to do today with something. Is everybody able to access Canvas in the way that you're situated right now? Is anybody not able to access Canvas? All right, I don't see anyone saying they can't. See some thumbs up. I like it. I like it. Look at all those thumbs up. That's awesome. Look at them go. Sorry. I'm so easily amused. I'm sorry. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I hear myself.
So I'm the one that emailed you last night. I haven't been able to access it. I already emailed admissions and records about it because it won't let me still register for it. But I already emailed admissions and records.
Yeah. So you haven't enrolled yet? Is that what you're saying?
No, because I had already taken this course before. And I guess that's the reason why it wouldn't let me register for it again. Yeah.
Well, if you've passed it already, it's not going to let you enroll.
Yeah, because I got a C, so I was like looking for a better grade. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Yeah, you can't take it again if you've earned a passing grade.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, you can talk to me after, but you won't be able to take it. All right.
Okay.
There's some more people. I like it. So I'm just about up to everybody. So let's do it. Sorry. Hey.
Oh, man.
Hey, Billy, do you know how to change your name? Can you add your last name in there?
I do not know how to change my name. Do you know?
What's your last name? Billy?
Bodine. Bodine.
Bam.
I'm in there as William.
I gotcha. I'm with you. All right. All good. I got power. So let's do this. I'm eventually going to want to do something through Canvas. So if you're able to access Canvas, that's good. Let me do this. I do want to talk a little bit about the syllabus, even though I have a video up about it. That was for a syllabus from spring. I was being exceptionally lazy and I didn't update it. All right. Let me see what I can do here.
Hey, how long is this class, sir?
Anybody know?
2 hours and a half, I think.
Yeah, until 4 o'clock.
Okay, man. I have to skip out today at 3 o'clock for work. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Is that okay?
It's okay. It's okay for one day.
Okay, just one day.
All right. Bam. All right. Now, so real quick. Hopefully everybody's read through this. I've had issues in the past. Everything in here, basically any questions you have almost is in here. If there's a question that isn't answered by this sucker, then ask away. All's good. Even if there is something in there, you can ask away if you don't understand something. I do have a video up about this syllabus, but it is for the spring. Here's my office hours. So starting at 1 o'clock, I'll be on Zoom at the link that you all used to get here now. It's the same exact link. You guys all with me? You can come at 1 o'clock with questions. If I get them answered, you can even come back at 1:30 for class. All good. I love it. Blah, 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 blah. Textbook. This is a brand new website. There used to be one called Rent Calculators, but Graph Tour, that sounds like some He-Man character. It's a place where you can rent a calculator. So if you only need a calculator for this class and you don't want to spend $100-something on a TI calculator, you can rent it. You guys all with me? If you want to, it's up to you. What's kind of weird about the way I do grades? I have a kind of a sliding scale, but I talked about that on the thing. So it's whichever thing you get the lowest grade on is the one I'll count for the least percentage. You guys with me? So I basically just calculate your grade in all the different ways and choose the highest one. Aw, Jeff. All right, you're welcome. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to say that might have been different? I don't think so. No. All right, I like it. All right, everything else should be about the same. Sorry?
Sorry, I had a question.
Yeah.
Do we always have to show face for each class we
Oh,
attend? To?
No. So otherwise, all the people without face on right now would have a problem, but I'm fine. I ask you if you can to turn your camera on because that helps me mentally.
Got it.
Probably better to have a teacher who is mentally stable. So help me remain so. I have a little bit left. But if you can't turn your camera on, that's fine. You must have your camera turned on for the midterm and the final. Those are the two times you must. And if you think I'm not allowed to have that, that's too bad. I am. So I just can't force you to have it all the time, but I have a well-documented request for those 2 dates to have your camera turned on. I like it. Let me see. Somebody was just sending me a chat. Oh, okay. So somebody's got a question about the syllabus. Let me know now if you have a question about the syllabus. The homework. Oh yeah, I said I would say this. I don't really grade, like I don't give you like a 73 or an 87 on homework. I'm gonna say okay, which means you got full credit. I'm gonna say correct, which means correct mistakes. So you would have half credit until you correct the mistakes, and you can get back up to full credit if you get enough corrections right. Is everybody with me so far? All right. I might say redo, which means you made so many mistakes, or you left so many things blank that you don't have any credit, but you can redo it and get back up to full credit. And then there's a special one, no credit. That means you cheated, and there's no way for you to get any credit. And if you do that a couple times, I'll just stop accepting homework from you because it's wasting my time. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Hopefully you understand I'm not being an asshole. This is just the way it is. So if you're here and you're going to try to come up with ways around the homework or other things, have fun with that. I'm going to eventually catch on and not allow that to happen. That's just silly. Let me see. Chat. Left my calc at home. What is the calc website again? Oh,
I just got it in the syllabus. Thank you.
sure. Okay. Limited times. Oh, homework corrections and quiz corrections. Get ready. You guys ready? Homework corrections and quiz corrections are due the day of the final exam. Do you understand? You have time to do them. I do let you make midterm and quiz corrections. Everybody with me? You will not get all of your points back unless you got like a 95. So you can read through this about how the quiz corrections and midterm corrections work. You can correct everything except the final once. This is not English class. I don't do first draft, second draft, third draft. No. Okay. Is everybody with me so far? You guys okay?
Yeah.
You guys are like, damn, this is really happening. This is how it started. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Did I miss anything in chat? I don't think so. Oh, no, I don't use Proctorio or whatever that is. No. All right. I do know about stuff like, well, one thing that will not help you in this class is Photomath, right? So if you know Photomath and you love it and it's helped you out, it's not going to do shit for you in this class. If you don't know Photomath, I kind of love you. But Photomath, if used correctly, Photomath is really, really helpful. It's a app on your phone where you just point the phone at homework at a math problem, and it does it for you. It can only handle certain levels of mathematics, and one thing it cannot do is statistics. All right. I know about JEG. I know about, I'm not even going to list them all off. trust me, the math department is well aware of a lot of different areas where students can have homework done for them. And I don't, so here's, let me say this to you guys. I had a discussion with the math department and said, we need to stop focusing so much on cheaters because we're driving ourselves a little crazy. And if I focus too much on cheaters, I'm going to make things more difficult for people that are just trying to do the class. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to make things so difficult that you can't do things and you're trying to just do the class honestly. But if you are cheating and I find out, you will get a 0 for the thing. If you cheat again, I will fail you from the class and file a report with student services. Okay. Not exactly the greatest message for the first day, but it's an important message. I want you guys to know. Yes, for the homework, do we have to write everything? Oh, yeah, show your work, write in pencil, that's good. And no, you don't have to rewrite the questions. I already know what the questions are. I don't need it unless you want to do it for yourself, that's fine. Okay, I like anything else so far, guys? You guys, any other questions? Okay, I like it. That's all I really want to say about the syllabus because I already have a video about it up in Canvas. Have you guys noticed this video? How to view the notes I write on your assignments. Have you guys looked at that video?
I have not yet.
You want to. So when I look at your homework, even if I say it's okay, even there's a little check mark there or something, you want to look at it because that doesn't mean you got everything perfect. It just means you didn't make enough mistakes to make me worried. So no matter what, you want to be able to see what I wrote on your homework. You guys with me? Okay. Let me see chat's happening. I like it. I like it. Okay, cool. More chat, more chat. Even for definition, we need to show. Okay, now guys, you have to work with me here. There are definitely situations where you don't have to show work, right? And they should be kind of clear. So if it's a yes or no question and they just say something, then you don't have to show work for that. If it's a definition question, there's no work to show. That's you guys with me? So show work when it makes sense, when there's work that needs to be shown. Okay, I like it. All right. More chat. Bad grammar. I don't care about, as long as I can understand what you're trying to tell me. I will say this, I am a math teacher, but I will sometimes correct grammar, but I'm not going to take points off for grammar. Do you guys understand? I had a math teacher who graded us on grammar. It was fantastic. I loved it so much. And there's a lot of sarcasm in my statement there. So yeah, I'm not going to grade you on your grammar, but be prepared for me to correct some of your grammar if it's a little much. Okay. It takes a village, right? Not just your English teachers. Let me see here. Let me catch up with what's going on here. Here we go. You're welcome. All right, guys. This is classical all the way to 4. Is there a break somewhere? We will have breaks. Dear God. I don't know what you think about me, but if you need a break, I definitely also will need a break. So we will take breaks. I will very often let us out before 4 o'clock. You should never bank on that. Does that make sense? Don't sit there at 3:42 and think, I thought he was going to let us out by now. What the shit? That's too damn bad. Just sit there. We can go till 4. If I want to, I can go till 4. But I will let us out early. I will give us breaks. Zoom will drive us all crazy. Have you guys noticed that? If I have like 5 meetings on Zoom in a day, I will have to stare at a blank wall for a few hours just to kind of like come out of that. Is it okay to leave sometimes? Of course. Holy shit. All right, guys. I love you guys. No, I appreciate this. This is good. Of course you can leave. You can leave for a minute. You can turn your video off. I'd love it if you said something real quick in the chat or just something, you know, like say, I got to step away, just so I know if I put us into breakout rooms or if I ask you a question and I don't hear anything, I know that you're only away for a minute. You guys with me?
Yes.
I don't say anything and I ask you something and you don't say a word and then I come back to you 10 minutes later, you still don't say a word. I'm like, are they there at all? That's bad. That's a very bad thing. Okay, I love it. I love it. Love you guys. Jordan, I'm sorry, you're answering somebody's question I didn't notice. Holy shit. No, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes. All right, I love it. Woo! If this is Monday and Tuesday only, we would be here for 7 hours. I don't know if you want that. I don't want that. Let's not do that. All right. So here's something I want to try. All right. Now listen, I love this. I do not use breakout rooms very much. I will use them every now and again. I love it, Carla. Thank you, Carla. I am going to use the breakout room today for a very special purpose. I think most of you guys said you were able to access Canvas. If you cannot, I'll show you this. I don't know, maybe you can copy it down real quick. I don't know, we'll see what works best. If you go, let me become a student. If you go to modules and you go right here, unit 0, see where it says human bingo. Doesn't that sound intriguing? Or horrifying? I have no idea. So if you click on the human bingo, you'll see this. All right, it's up to you how you want to do this. You can print it out if you want to. You don't have to print it out. Basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to create breakout rooms. I want you to introduce yourselves to each person, right? Write the name of a person who satisfies one of these squares. So if somebody wears contacts in the little breakout room you're in, you can put their name down. You can only use a person once. Is everybody with me so far? Does everybody get the idea of what's going to happen with this? Has anyone ever done this thing before?
Are you trying to play actual bingo and get one line, or are you trying to fill the whole thing?
What we're going to do is whoever gets the most squares filled is going to win. And what are you going to win? You're going to win me saying, wow, good job. And then we're going to keep going. That's huge. That's huge. You have no idea. Any questions about, do we have to join groups all the time? I don't understand. No. I'm going to put you in a breakout room right now. We will occasionally have group work that we'll do, and you'll go into a breakout room. I don't do it all the time, but a huge part of the on-campus experience that I think is lost in Zoom is for you guys to be able to talk to each other. I know some of you guys hate that, or you think you hate that. I know, but my God, you got to meet other people. That's a huge thing about college, is where you meet all kinds of interesting people, and you meet really shitty people sometimes too, but you still have to have the experience. How many minutes will it take? I have no idea what's happening. I'm going to give you like a couple minutes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back and then re-break you up. Do you understand what's happening? I'm going to create breakout rooms a few times. Hopefully you'll cycle through, you'll meet more people. Does anyone feel like they don't know what's going on? Is everybody okay with what's about to happen? Do you guys all understand what is about to happen?
Yes, quick question.
Yes.
I'm just looking on my Canvas app right now, and I have a to-do where it shows me what's due on certain days.
Yes.
And they said there's a 0.2 practice scan due today.
Yes.
And what would that be?
Here. All right. So I love that question because not everybody's done this yet. I sent out an email asking to make sure. So see this unit 0, what you want to do is you want to start to work. You've got to go through it in order.
Okay.
So to be really honest, you could just not watch this and hit the next button. That would be really not smart. This one, I don't care if you watch it or not, especially if you used Canvas before already. You don't really have to watch this one.
Okay.
Just keep hitting next. And then here, look, practice scan. Start assignment. You scan it. And this the whole purpose of this, to be really honest, is to make sure you pick a decent app for scanning so that I can tell before you turn in homework that I'm going to be able to look at what you scan, what you've done. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me?
Yes.
So these are just suggestions of apps that I've heard of that have worked for people. You might have other methods. And one of my questions is, how the hell are you scanning shit? Right? I didn't actually say that. But that's basically what the question is. Are you guys, is everybody still with me out there?
Yes.
And then you cannot turn in, get out of there. You can't turn in chapter 1 homework until you've completed unit 0. It's crazy. So you're going to want to complete all of unit 0.
Got it.
Okay, I like it. How's everybody else? Any other questions at the moment? All right. No idea how you guys feel so far. Yes,
Excuse me.
yes.
How many questions is each exam?
So the quizzes are going to each be very kind of different sizes. So I give you possibly a different amount of time for each quiz. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not done. So quizzes normally are anywhere from like 5 questions up to maybe 10 questions. Maybe more than that, depending on what's going on with it. The midterm and the final you'll have the entire class to do those in, and it will be given out over Zoom. And normally they have about somewhere in the mid-20s total questions. And when I tell you how many questions are on something, I'm counting A, B, C, D stuff. You with me? Because I hate it when a teacher says there's 4 questions and then they're each A through J. And you're like, dude, do you know how to count? That is not 4 questions, A through J. All right, anyway. So let's do this. I'm going to shut up for a while. You guys are like, good God, this guy has already talked a ton. It's my job. I'm going to create breakout rooms, and hopefully everybody really is with what's about to happen. So when you go into your breakout room, introduce yourselves to each other, talk about which part of the bingo sheet you can help with. You guys all with me? I'm going to pop into a few rooms just to kind of try to get my name out for certain things. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's do 4 people. Perfect. All right. Has anyone never done a breakout room before on Zoom? Have you guys all done that before?
Yeah.
What's about to happen is just in a minute, you're going to see a link on the screen and it's going to say, click here to join the room or something like that. So you click it and then you're going to be in a smaller Zoom room with just 3 other people. And then you start talking to each other about this human bingo sheet. All right, here we go. You ready? Here we go. Go. Go to your room. Go. Fly, be free. Good point, Carla. I like it. Let's see if anybody's not really here. Samantha? Hello? Samantha? Samantha? Hello?
I'm driving. I'm
Oh,
so
that's right.
sorry.
Samantha, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Go. You put focus on driving. You're fine. You're fine. My fault. I forgot.
Thank you.
Sure. I see your chat now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave for a minute. Let me see. So, let's see. Who thinks they got the most boxes filled in? Anybody?
I got bingo.
Oh, you got bingo. Okay, that's good.
So
I gotcha. Anybody else get bingo? Just to get that out of the way.
I didn't get bingo, but I got all 9. So like the 3 other people from every group.
You got all 9. Well, then you got bingo.
Well, none of them are in a line. So I didn't think to try to do that.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 25 blocks. Okay. All right. So anybody get more than 9 blocks? No? Okay. All right. Was it interesting? Did you discover interesting things? All right. I like it. I like it. See, now that's part of what's missing since we had to go virtual. I never wanted to teach online ever, just to let you guys know. That doesn't mean I'm going to not do good here or something. It just means that's the reality. But the reality, of course, is the only way we can teach right now. Fall, we should be back on campus to a certain degree. Teachers had the option to do it or not. I definitely chose to be back on campus. Anyway, so we'll find out how that goes. Let me think. Anybody think they have the most interesting thing they've discovered during that whole thing?
Nobody's a Lakers fan, so.
Well, as a Celtics fan, I like that. That's good. Sorry.
And nobody's a Kings fan either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of rough.
They had a bad season.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a Celtics fan, and I've been a Celtics fan since '86. And we had a stretch. We had a stretch of some bad times. And then 2008, I think was 2008. Anyway, enough of that. So I'm sorry you're all on your lonesome, but the Lakers suck. That's okay. It happens.
Found my calculator. It was right next to me.
Oh, sweet. All right. Anything else? So that's interesting. No Lakers fans that you ran into. Anybody else a Lakers fan that she didn't run into? Nobody wants to admit.
Sort of.
I like that. That's.
It's not my favorite. I'm a fan.
I'm Celtics too.
Hey, all right.
I don't like any sport where you can't hit somebody.
All right. A lot just happened. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to move past that. And we're going to actually, what we're going to do is we're going to start a little bit into the first chapter. And just to warn you guys about the first chapter. First chapter is definitions, insane amount of definitions. It just is. So we're going to make it through this together. We're going to make it. I try to teach it in a way that we sort of go on this little journey together. That sounded really dumb as I said it, but too bad. It's the way it's going to be. And then we're going to take a break. Probably, I don't know. We'll see whenever I decide to take a break. So that's the plan for right now for the immediate future. So let's get into the first chapter. Let me see. I got to do this for myself. Oh, let me do this again. So it's all about me. Bam. There we go. All about me. Bam. I got like a real whiteboard, a real physical whiteboard. Excellent. So happy. Got my athletic shirt. Very good. I got this place lit up like crazy. All right, guys. So there should be some words in statistics. Well, let me ask you. I haven't asked this question yet. Can somebody tell me what preconceptions are you guys coming in with it? Has anyone heard anything about statistics that either has you worried or excited or something?
Rain Man.
Rain Man. Okay. You mean the old Tom Cruise? Was it Richard? Who was the?
Dennis Hoffman.
Dennis Hoffman. Dennis Hoffman? Really?
Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman.
I was gonna say, you thinking Dennis Hopper? That would have been interesting. Anyway, Um,
That would have been a way different movie.
very, very different movie. Has anyone heard anything about statistics at all? Or are you guys all coming into this not having a clue?
Sigma.
Yeah, I took prop stats, AP prop stats in high school.
Oh, well, dude, you're ahead of the game.
I also took AP stats in high school.
Another person ahead of the game. All right. Everybody hates you guys. It's okay. You'll be fine. Anybody else who's never taken stats before, but you've heard something about it? Have you heard nothing about it? Those of you who haven't taken it? Has anyone heard that there's a lot of word problems in statistics?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily mathematical. It's more like probability and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. You took Psych 215, somebody said. That's basically the same class, but they do a lot more psychology applications, of course. There's no word problems in statistics. There aren't. So a word problem is one like there's a train going south from Wyoming, and there's another train going north at this speed, and how long until the trains collide, right? That's a word problem because you have to create your own formula for that problem. Are you guys all with me?
That's a really like sick question if you think about it. I mean, like how many thousands of people die when the trains collide?
I know, but math doesn't have feelings for you. It's too bad. You just have to deal with the trauma. All right. Now, in statistics, I'm kind of glad you said that. There's quite a few problems where it's a little morbid, but that's the way it is. A lot of statistics is dealing with uncomfortable situations. But coming back to the examples, there's no real word problems in statistics. There are a lot of formulas. There are Greek letters. Has anyone gotten to the point where you see the Greek letters up in Canvas that I put up there for you?
Yes.
Yes. One person. Let's see. Yes, two people. Okay. So let me show you this real quick. You do not have to memorize the Greek alphabet. Do you understand? This is not why I put this up here. But I just wanted to throw this at you so you can reference it later. There will be a few, like this one is going to be really important. Mu. It's like a French cow, right? Mu. Sigma, somebody just said sigma. Here's sigma in different, so this is like capital and this is some lowercase options. What's
Sigma
another?
pi?
Say again?
Sigma pi?
Exactly. This is why you guys know these letters very often, is because fraternity, sororities, and all that kind of stuff. Sigma, 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 or kappa, delta, nu, right? Some of you guys might have, anyway, enough of this. So the point here is there's not a lot of algebra in statistics. There aren't really any word problems in statistics. So what is it that makes statistics difficult for people? It's concept heavy. The more you understand the concepts, the more you'll know when to use which formula. The Greek letters get people down. You got to memorize what the Greek letters mean so that you'll plug the right values into the correct places. Are you guys with me so far? These are the things to focus on as you go through this course. Oh, there's a little baby. Little baby. Sorry. Let me see what else I want to say. All right, so let's cut back. I think, yeah, that's pretty good. Anything else somebody want to say about statistics? Anything else that you guys have heard or you're worried about? So I just go fully off screen? No? Okay. So that's all we want to say? Okay. All right. So let me say a couple of words that you guys all know. Population, sample. What's a population?
The amount of people in a given area.
So it's not a number. Population is not a number.
It's like a focus group.
Focus group would be more related to a sample, right? So has anybody ever heard of a focus group? Do you guys know what a focus group is? Obviously one person does, I think, right? You guys know what a focus group is? Somebody give me an example of the situation where you have a focus group.
You want to know if 100 people like donuts, so you take 10 of them, put them in a room and see who takes a donut?
Yeah, very often it's kind of like testing out marketing strategies, or you show them a commercial and you see how they like it, stuff like that. You guys all with me? So a focus group is before you launch something, you take a sample of people and you show them this thing and you get their reaction, right? Like one time I saw the movie, there's a movie called Skeleton Key, and I got to be in a test audience. So I got to see it before it was finished. So I got to give them notes on the movie to help them figure out how they needed to change it. And it ended up not doing so hot, so I guess it didn't help out that much, but there were a lot of other people in there, so it wasn't just me. Jessica, what's up?
So like would a population be like where you're taking the sample from?
Yes, I love it. Okay, so they are interconnected. A population is all of the things you want to say something about. So, and a sample is the group you take from that you're going to actually work with. So very often, so if I wanted to say something about every American, can I feasibly talk to every American? Does anyone know how many Americans there are at the moment?
330 million or so?
Something like that, 330, 340, somewhere around in there, right?
Too many.
We just keep making more of us. Now, so population is a collection of all things, could be people, it could be whatever, that we want, that we wish to describe. So a situation that we could be in is like somebody polls people to see who they're going to vote for in the next election, right? We can't talk to everybody who's going to vote, so we take a sample of people. You guys all with me? Okay. Population collection of all the things that we wish to describe. And sample is a subgroup of the population that we'll actually work with. We'll talk to, we'll question, or analyze. So if it's people, we'll probably question them. If it's shoes, we probably won't question them unless, you know, we've gone off the deep end. Then we'll sit there and talk to a shoe. You never know. Now, is everybody with me so far? That shouldn't be that big of a deal. So if I ask you to identify a sample, it's the answer has got to be a group, doesn't it? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You can't say the sample is 11. No, that doesn't make any sense.
So a sample of Americans would be everyone in Nevada.
Okay, I love it. If the population is America, a possible sample is all Nevadans.
I hope Nevada doesn't represent America.
That's the next problem, Billy. So you've got the relationship between sample and population down. I love it. The problem is, would that be a representative sample? Do you think that Nevadans represent all the possible issues that all Americans could have within some situation? No. Right. So that's going to be another layer of this. So is it a sample? Yes. Is it a good sample? No. Would you guys be a sample of Gross Fund students?
Yes.
Yes, you are. You are a sample of Gross Fund students. Would you be a good sample?
Probably.
Yes.
Depends on what you're studying.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter what I'm studying. If my population is all Grossmont students, why would you guys not constitute a good sample? I'm not saying you're bad people.
Not all Grossmont students take statistics.
Yeah, or your class.
There is a reason you guys are taking this summer statistics course. Would every Grossmont student need to or be able to take this course? No. We're starting to inch closer to a definition of what makes a good sample. It's normally pretty simple to tell a bad sample. Nevadans bad sample because not everybody lives in Nevada, right? And Nevadans are going to probably, Nevadans, I have no idea, potato. they're probably going to have very different issues than somebody living in Rhode Island, correct? So that would not be representative. You guys wouldn't be representative because not everybody has to take statistics. Students in your situation would probably have a different take in different situations. So it would be biased in some way. All right, let me stop for a minute. Is everybody with me so far? So there's just the definition of what these groups are. And then there's another layer of, have you selected a good sample, a representative sample or not? So we're coming to that later. Why is everything, let me do one thing, sorry guys. I'm gonna fix my, what do you call it? Hold on. Doobie-doobie-doo, my exposure. Doobie-doobie. Hold on a second. There we go, that's a little better. All right. So it's not too bad. Is that better? I have no idea. Now, so what if the population is Grossman students? Let's say, for example, oh crap and a half. I should have checked these earlier. Let's say, for example, my population is Grossmont, all Grossmont students. That keyword all is really important. Listen to me, guys. If I said their bikers are next door, can you kind of get an image of that? Bikers are next door, right? If I said all bikers are next door, isn't that a very different image? Aren't you thinking, how the shit do they all fit next door? How big is next door, Jeff? So if you just say bikers, is that necessarily a population? No, all bikers, population.
Bikers in spandex or bikers in leather? Like which bike?
I don't know. In my head, I've got people doing Harley, going to Harley, but I guess
Okay.
you wear spandex on Harley. So I'm not gonna.
No, bike with or without a motor.
Exactly. Just position yourself well. Somebody give me a way to get a sample of Grossmont students. So we already said that you guys would be a bad sample, correct?
Randomly select.
Can you be more specific?
You could, I know like a lot of the buildings are organized by like classes. So you could probably take random students from different classes in each of the buildings that are like dedicated to certain subjects.
All right. So if we assume that we're completely out of the pandemic and we're back on campus, you can take people out of classes. Is that at a certain time period?
Yes, you need a consistent population with consistent students. Summer is not a required time.
This is true. This is true. Our population, though, could be all summer students. I could have said that, but we're saying all Grossman students. So let's say we're in a fall semester, a normal semester. The suggestion is take some students. So what's your suggestion exactly? Take some students from every class?
Like, you know how like there's like buildings that are kind of dedicated to like certain subjects.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was saying like if you wanted to, you could go and select students randomly from the different buildings.
But like at 1:30 on a Tuesday?
No, so I guess, I mean, you could do it at different times of the day
Okay.
and week.
Good.
But that, I don't know, it just seems like
Guys, it's okay. It's okay. But you start to understand about how you got to be careful about how you pick a sample, because the less representative it is, or the less work we put into it to try to make it representative, the less other people have to listen to what we find. So a huge thing to pay attention to in any article that gives you statistical analysis is how did they pick their sample? Holy shit. Have you guys, I'm sorry, are there little ones out there? I gotta be careful about, I cuss sometimes. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I cuss too, so they know not to say them. Also, this one's only one, so.
All right, so they're not that cognizant yet. Okay, good.
Just say earmuffs.
Now, what was I saying? Shoot. I forgot.
You're saying people listen according to how well their sample was collected.
Yes. So, so many times nowadays you are bombarded by statistics I don't care where you get your news, or even if you're not even looking for news, don't you see news about 30% of people do this and blah, blah, blah. Haven't you guys seen that out in the wild? Is that not true? Do you have any idea how to analyze that to see if it's even worth listening to? So many people see something on, like, I don't know, Facebook or something, right? These are normally older people. They see something written and they go, holy shit, and they start typing it to all their friends, and they don't even look into where did it come from, who authorized the study, who did they talk to? Are you guys kind of with me? So one thing I want us to get out of this course is an ability to know what to look for when somebody's feeding you statistics. When you see something, don't just go, it's written in a newspaper, it must be true. No, not necessarily, especially nowadays. Holy crap, right? It's a little disturbing to me, but all right, moving on. So let's say a sample is, we'll just say it's a randomly selected, random selection of 100 gross month students. Everybody with me? So we could have put their names in a hat. We could have given them random numbers and picked the numbers, something. That says students, believe it or not. It looks like it says students. All right. Now, we have a group that we want to talk about, population. We have a group that we actually have time and resources to interact with, correct? The sample. We want it to be representative. We'll talk about that later. We're going to assume this is representative. Okay, now, once you collect your sample, what do you do with them? So in this case, does anyone have anything they're curious about gross month students? Anybody curious about anything about gross month students in general?
I liked the donut conversation that Billy mentioned.
What flavored donut they like or something?
Yeah.
No, whether or not they like donuts.
Yes,
Oh,
that.
What percentage of gross month students like donuts? Is that the thing? Okay, 11.
Yeah.
That's that. I've never had that suggestion before, so I'm excited. Normally something boring like what percentage smoke and shit like that, but I like this. And nothing interesting. So let's say this whole thing is about how do I want to put this? The next couple of things, there's the variable, and there is actually something called, yeah, there's statistic not ready for you. The data. Statistic comes later. The variable is related to what we would ask or look at something in our sample, right? So in this case, what would we ask somebody?
Whether or not they like donuts?
Yes, 11. So the variable is related to the question we would ask. So in this case, it would be, the variable would be if a person likes or does not like donuts. I'm going to spell donut wrong just because. Now you could also say the variable is the number of people that like your donuts. Go nuts for donuts, I like it. I don't care how you spell it as long as they're there for me to eat. Now, the variable is related to the question that you ask. Ready with me so far? So if I was analyzing the average length of dogs' tails, what would the variable be? So you get your little sample of dogs.
The length of the dog's tails.
The length of one dog's tail. That's the question that you would want answered, right? So it's related to the question you would ask. So you have a dog in front of you. What question would you ask? Not of the dog, okay? You're not going to ask the dog, hopefully. But what question would you ask that you want an answer to is how long is this dog's tail? So that's the variable, the length of a dog's tail. Okay, I like it. The data is answers to the question. Become a word. Oh my God, I've had too much time off. Scheiße. Data is answers to the question. So somebody give me an example of data here. This question is kind of basic. What
Yes
is
or no? Yes or no?
yes? No. What are donuts? In which case you would look at them like, what? You don't know about donuts? All right. Wait, okay. Nothing amazing so far yet, right? We have a group that we want to say something about. We have a group we can actually work with. We have a question that we're going to ask them or want to get answered. And we have a collection of the answers. Yes? All this makes sense so far. And most of this is stuff you already kind of knew. I'm going to have to erase this. You guys ready?
Wait 1 second. I'm just finishing a couple notes.
Here, take a picture.
Thank you. We're good.
Okay, here we go. Now, once I get the data, what am I going to do? Once I'm done talking to the sample, what am I going to do with the data?
Analyze it.
In what way specifically for this situation?
Maybe figure out what percentage does and what percentage don't, and maybe which one's more.
Good. So we had 100 gross fund students. Let's say that 89 of them say yes. So then I can do 89 divided by 100 to get the proportion, the percentage, right? All right. Now, could you then say that 89% of all gross fund students like donuts? Not quite, right? But what do we actually do in reality? We actually do say that. Has anyone ever seen, like normally it's a poll for an election. They'll say like 42% want to vote for candidate A and 44% want to vote for candidate B. And what do they have at the very bottom? At the very bottom, they have plus or minus 3 or 4%. Have you guys ever seen that anywhere in any way? No?
Yes.
Yes. Do you understand why that's necessary?
Yeah, to account for unknown factors.
I like it. This number is very true about the sample. Is it necessarily true about the population? Not necessarily. This is not coming out of nowhere. There isn't some guy in the corner that says, oh, I say give or take 4 this time. No, there's an actual equation that will make sense that we will learn later this semester to show where this plus or minus number comes from. Now, answer me this. If I took a larger sample, what do you think would happen to this number?
It would go down.
It would go down because if I take a larger sample, shouldn't I be more certain about what we find? So in the equation, you'll see a letter that represents the size of the sample, and you'll see how mathematically it would make this number go down. All right, so that's in our future. I'm going to mute everybody. Shaboom. All right. So this is all talking about these two things. What number am I on? 5? Was I doing A, B, C, D? I can't remember. 5. Parameter and statistic. Do you see how this word starts with a P? Do you guys notice that? That word starts with a P. A parameter is a numerical description of a population. And so a statistic is a numerical description of a So if I said 89% of the 100 students we talk to like donuts, which one is that?
Statistic.
Totally a statistic because it's describing a sample. If I said 89% of all Grossmont students like donuts, which one is that?
Parameter.
Parameter, because it's describing a population. Is that difficult? What's a good keyword that isn't necessarily always going to be there, but when it's there, it gives the whole shit away? The word all, right? If I said 17% of all airline pilots have a drink before takeoff, that is scary. And also it's a parameter, correct? Because I'm talking about the entire population. Are you guys with me? Okay, I like it. As somebody else said earlier, 50% of statistics are all made up on the spot. All right, let me see. Was there something else I want to say here? No. I think let's do this. Yeah. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. And then we'll do some more definitions. Can we come back at 3? Is that enough of a break? I'm going to also let us out a little early. So let's come back at 3. We'll do some more exciting definitions. Like, let me do that. All right, so we're just going to do a few more definition stuff. Let me see. Oh. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's kind of break data down. Oops, shit, hold on. All right. You can do it, Jeff. Can you do it? No idea how these work. All right. It's just sideways. Let's break down variable data a bit. So we can have different, we can actually have different, I don't want to come at this. Yeah, let's do this. We can have quantitative versus qualitative. What's the root word of quantitative?
Quantity.
Quantity. All right, so quantitative data are actually numerical, right? They're very often, they're measurements. They're truly numerical things. I'm not sure how else, let me see. Truly numerical. They're often measurements. So this might make more sense if I contrast it with what a qualitative type of data is. This quality is the root word. This is just categorical. Can you spell, there you go, Jeff. Categorical data or name data. So where would social security number go? If my data was social security numbers, which one would that go in?
Qualitative.
Yes. It's not truly numerical. It's a name, right? In fact, for a long time, we thought everybody would have just a number name in the future. We're not quite there yet. Thank God. All right. So, you know, something like the temperature you set on the stove. What's that going to be? If you set the stove to 400.
Quantitative.
What's that, sir?
Quantitative.
Quantitative. I love it. It's truly numerical, right? Couldn't you subtract 2 temperatures and get some information? Isn't it a truly numerical? What about somebody's jersey number? Like your number 11 on the baseball team.
Qualitative.
Qualitative. So like another way to reference you, another name for you. I love it. So obviously like types of cars are qualitative, hair colors qualitative, names data is qualitative. Quantitative is truly numerical data. Okay. How's everybody doing so far? Those two are normally pretty quick, pretty easy. Now, let me immediately follow this up with 2 things about quantitative. We can have discrete versus continuous. So this is quantitative type data. These are numerical data points. When I say the word continuous, what comes to mind?
Ongoing.
Continue.
Goes on.
Keeps going, continues. I like it. So would the number of doors on a car be continuous data? What do you think?
No, it'd be discrete because there's only a specific number of cars or doors.
Yes, there's a finite number of doors. It's a countable number of doors. It doesn't continue. It doesn't bring up every possibility in a continuum. So I skip values. How many numbers are between 1 and 2?
Infinite.
Infinite. I love it. Yes, there's an infinite number of numbers. Hell, there's an infinite number of numbers between 1 and 1.1. And you can keep going and go a little insane. So let's not do that. Okay. So what's the point here, Jeff? I don't know. So some obvious things that are continuous would be like somebody's height. When you grow, do you go like this? Well, guys, I'll see. Whoa, holy shit. do you just suddenly, sometimes it seems like it. I still remember when I said, Mom, I'm looking down at you, right? That was a neat day for me. I'm like, I'm taller than you finally, yay. Now, do you guys follow what I'm saying? So height, you can measure somebody's height to more and more and more accuracy. Would it make sense for me to say that I am 5.93466293729444444870003964 inches, feet tall. Let's not say inches. I'm not 5.9 inches tall. Anybody? Is that all right? Would that be weird to say? Yes. Would that not make sense? Do you understand what I mean if I say that? I just measured my height more precisely than normal. Would it make sense to say that that car over there has 3.6947399992 doors? Does that make any sense?
No.
Because it's a freaking door or it ain't, right? There's only a discrete number of values. There's only a finite number of possible values that the number of doors in a car can take. Do you guys get the difference here? So continuous means that the possible values could be anything in a continuum. So what about the weight of a backpack?
Continuous?
Yeah, it's continuous. Even if I say the weight of the backpack was 5 pounds, would you put a lot of money on it being exactly 5.00000 forever pounds? How likely do you think that is?
Unlikely.
Unlikely, probably much more likely that it's 4.869473 or 5.0749766. But we're humans, so we don't freaking say, I live about 11.0796439 miles. Who the shit are you? But the idea of discrete or continuous is about what the possible values are. Do you guys understand? Maybe? If I said the average number of toasters owned was 1.576 toasters, is that continuous or discrete?
Discrete, because you can't own half a toaster.
Thank you. Thank you. Averages can be decimals all day long. Has anybody ever heard of jokes related to 2.5 kids for every couple. They have 2.5 kids, and you're like, I don't want to meet that 0.5 kid. It's freaking me out. Is he half porcupine? What does that mean? 50% of the time he phases into another dimension. Oh, I don't want to see that. No, an average can be any decimal depending on what number you're dividing by, correct? But the number of toasters is the idea. What level of measurement would that be? That would be discrete, because you can only have 0 or 1 or 2 toasters, right? And so forth. Okay. Maybe? Are you guys okay out there? So discrete can only take on, you can do it, Jeff, certain values. Very often is called countable. Continuous can take on any value in a continuum. Oh shit. Can take on any value in a continuum. Meaning you can measure it more and more precisely, get more and more decimals, and it will still make sense. Okay, I like it. You guys feel okay about that? It's not too weird, is it? All right. So we will discuss discrete probability distributions, for example, and then we'll talk about continuous probability distributions later in the course. So that's why it's important to talk about these words. Okay. Now, let's do some more definitions. Holy shit. So everybody got that? I'll leave that up there for you. So we're going to break down, we're going to talk about what's called levels. I think I've said this in the wrong way, but it's too bad for me. Levels of measurement. Oh my God. Wow. You can sort of do it. Oh God. All right. Oh, the day that I can't read my own writing is the day I'm going to retire. So I can still read my own writing. Levels of measurement. There are 4 levels of measurement. Oh. The first 2 are related to qualitative data. Okay. Oh, I've gotten, hold on. Too exposed. Still kind of bad. Oh well. Ooh, well, look at that. That's all right. Okay, that's all right. All right, so these 2 are qualitative types for the most part, almost exclusively qualitative. And what does qualitative mean again?
Categorical. Describing something.
Categorical. Some kind of description, sure, but it's categorical. It's name data. In fact, nominal specifically is names only. It's only names of things. Right now, listen. There are 4 levels. Complexity will increase with each level, not complexity of understanding, but just complexity of what kinds of data it talks about. So this is stuff like hair color, what car you're driving, what kind of animal that is. You guys with me? So it's truly just name. In fact, does anyone like Stephen King? Anyone read any books? You guys know books exist. You like Stephen King? Have you ever heard of if you like Stephen King, have you ever heard of an author named Richard Bachman? Do you know who Richard Bachman is? That's actually Stephen King. It was his name he took on when he first started writing. So if you like Stephen King books and you're like, I've read them all, and you've never heard of Richard Bachman, you have not read all of Stephen King's work. Okay, so that just blew your mind a little bit. Maybe it's a term called plume de nom, pen name. Your pen name, plume de nom, nom is name, not number. For some reason, people see nominal and you think number. No, this is the exact opposite of number. This is names, only names. What do you think of when I say ordinal?
Order.
Order. So it adds on, not it's names that have an inherent order to them. And the key word there is inherent. Jeff? What the hell does inherent mean? What is inherent? Does it mean misspelling inherit?
Predetermined?
So alphabetical is an order, correct? Right? Isn't alphabetical an order we could use? Okay, I'll pretend like everybody says.
Yeah.
Do things have to be in alphabetical order? No, correct? If I started saying, okay, what kind of cars do we see? I see a Hyundai, I see a BMW, I see a Ford. Is somebody gonna go, wait a minute, dude? It's not in alphabetical order. What's your problem? No, of course not. I'm gonna look at that person like, what the shit? What? Okay. You guys with me? Now, if you go to a restaurant, have you ever gone to a restaurant that had one of those little things they said, please fill this out and tell us how we did? Have you guys ever seen that? If they said good, excellent, poor, fair, wouldn't you go, wait a minute, what? That's out of order. Or let me say this, have you guys ever evaluated a teacher? And you guys know, if you haven't, okay, now listen, you have to fill in a circle and it goes from strongly disagree to strongly agree, or the other way, I can't remember. You guys with me? Strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. If you went to fill that out and it said neutral, agree, strongly disagree, if it said that, when you go, wait a minute, are you trying to, what? Are you trying to pull something? That's out of order. So aren't those just names? Yes. Why is it not just nominal? Because it also has an order it wants to be in to make sense. I like it. So that is ordinal. Stuff like rankings would definitely be ordinal, like strongly agree, so forth, poor, fair, good, excellent, blah, 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 right? You guys with me? There's an order they need to be in to make full sense. Yeah, I like it. So 2 more of these. Okay. These two, so these two are related to qualitative. These two are going to be related to quantitative. They're called interval and ratio. When I say the word interval, does anyone have an algebraic, or not even algebraic, just what do you think when I say interval?
In between.
In between.
Like a range.
Range.
Like a step.
Step, I like it. Like you've heard people say interval of time, right? Stuff like that. So interval inherently means from something to something, correct? Couldn't you then determine how long that thing is? By doing what operation? If it went from 5 years to 10 years, how many years range is that?
5.
5. What'd you do? What operation did you use?
Addition, subtraction.
Subtraction. I got you. Right. Now, I kind of appreciate that you said addition because there is no subtraction. There's just adding negatives, adding negative inverses, or adding additive inverses. But let's not go there. Right. So subtraction. So interval means data where subtraction makes sense. All right. So for example, if I said, all right, is somebody willing to tell me what year you were born?
95.
95, that's what I heard. I was born, I could ask you guys to guess, but I don't want somebody to guess too high. I was born in 1972. If I subtract 1995 minus 1972, does the answer mean something? What's it mean?
Or age difference?
Age difference. I like it. How much older I am, correct? So that is what interval data means. It means that when you subtract, the answer makes sense. Can you subtract 2 zip codes? Can you? No. Stop. I didn't ask, does the answer make sense? Could you? What's your zip code? Anybody?
92113.
Couldn't you subtract 91941, which is me? Couldn't you subtract those two? Of course you can, correct? Would the answer mean anything? That's the key. So therefore, zip codes are definitely not interval. Where would zip codes go?
Nominal.
Good. You could argue ordinal. To be really honest, I don't even know how they really apportion out zip codes. So like social security numbers, do you guys know that those are ordinal to a certain degree? Like my first 3 digits are 258, and I didn't find out until I was like almost 30 that is because I was born in Georgia. So the first 3 digits of your social security number are related to the area in which you were born. I didn't know that until, well, now it's 18 years ago, but anyway, so that's something, the more you know. Interval means subtraction makes sense. Ratio, what does ratio relate to mathematically? What does ratio mean?
Like 1 to 1? I don't know.
Sure.
It's like a comparison almost.
Sure. What operation would it relate to?
Oh, like division?
Yes, I love it. Therefore, ratio data is data where division makes sense. Also, it has 2 things. Division makes sense, and 0 means what it should. What should 0 mean? What should 0 mean?
Nothing.
Nothing, the absence of thing, yes? So if I said there's 0 ducks on the lake, that means there are no ducks on the lake, correct? If I say it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit outside, does that mean absence of heat? Think about it, guys. I know we live in San Diego, but can you get colder than 0 degrees Fahrenheit? Of course you can, yes? How much colder? About 273.15 something degrees. Well, is that Celsius? I don't care. Maybe. That is Celsius. Stay with me. So temperature is not ratio data because 0 does not mean what it's supposed to. 0 should mean absence of what I'm measuring. You guys with me out there a little bit? Stop it, I'm tired. What about year of birth, what we just did? If I divide 1995 by 1972, does the answer mean something? No, it doesn't. Does the year 0 mean time did not exist before that? No, of course not. A lot of shit happened before year 0, right? In fact, why is year 0 where it is? Well, that's a whole other story, kids. We're not going to get into it. All right, sorry, I'm getting a little loopy. Let me take some mystery drink here. Yeah, all right. Now, let's do this. I can't remember what's on that thing. Yeah, do I want to do that now? No. Oh, maybe. So let's see, a couple examples. Where would, let me see. Oh, yeah, no. Where would number of woodpeckers in a tree, where would that go? What can you eliminate? Which two can you throw out? Number of
Qualitative?
woodpeckers. Yeah, you can throw these two out because these are not numerical. So that's the way I would do these kind of problems. I could immediately tell which two it won't be. Now, number of woodpeckers in a tree. Which one?
Ratio?
And I really want to make sure you guys understand. Can you subtract number of woodpeckers in one tree versus another?
Yes.
And yes, of course. Is that all you can do? Can you do more? Yes. So your answer to this kind of question will always be the highest level you can get to. Couldn't you call that tree over there the 4 woodpecker tree? Couldn't that be its name? Believe it or not, yes, of course. That's that 4 woodpecker tree. 4 woodpeckers live in that tree. That's the name of the damn thing. So these build, you always give the highest one as your answer. I love you guys. You guys do it right. Whew. This is day 1. All right. Okay. Well, let's another example, Jeff. What about political party affiliation?
Ordinal?
Ooh, interesting. Ordinal doesn't really work unless you're talking about, so I'm talking about political party affiliation, not a spectrum of conservative to liberal, because that doesn't even encompass everything. Anyway, I don't want to make this into a political science class, but I would say that's nominal, correct? Unless you set it up to be like, are you, strong Republican, moderate Republican, centrist, and then it could say it's sort of ordinal. Are you guys with me? If it's kind of a ranking like that set up. But if I just say political party affiliation, do you guys know how many political parties there are? Do you guys know? Take a guess. Anybody have a guess? How many do you know of? What are the big 2? Let me start there.
Republican and Democrat.
Okay, I like it. Anybody know a third one?
Independent.
Independent. I love it. Anybody know a fourth? Say again.
Green
Sorry.
Party.
Libertarian, Green. I like it. What about Whig? What about communist? Do you guys know there's a communist party in America? Socialist, Democratic Socialist, right? Oh my God, you should Google political parties. I know of about 100 something political parties. How many people ran for president in the last election? Let me tell you, over 1,000, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's insane. Anyway, sorry. That's a little side note. I'm really, really sorry. Okay. Now, so that's how this works. If I have a problem where they ask me to identify the level of measurement, I can first thing eliminate either these if it's not numerical, or eliminate these if it is numerical. And then I try to figure out between those two what it is. Maybe. I got one more. Oh my God, guys. I got one more set of definitions, and then I think we'll call it a day. All right. So I'll give you a little light at the end of the tunnel so you can kind of stay with me. The time. All right. So we'll still get out of here a little early. I'm holding to my word. All right, so this is related to what I teased earlier. This is different ways of selecting samples. Sampling methods. The gold standard sampling method is actually more than just random. It's something called simple random, but we'll come back to that. Random sampling. What does that mean?
Every thing on the list has an equal chance of being chosen.
That's exactly right. So every element of the population must have an equal chance of being selected, which is why having Nevada as a sample when your population is all of America is wrong, is bad. Having you guys as a sample to represent all of Grossmont is bad, because not everybody in the population would have an equal chance to be in the sample. Does that make sense? So that's the gold standard. Whatever method you use, you want to try to make sure every element of the population has an equal chance to be in the sample. So that's your gold standard. Now, so any good sampling method will end up with a random sample. So will be methods that are random, but there's more to them. So there's one called systematic. The root word there is pretty obvious. What do you think systematic relates to?
You choose like every fourth in a line.
I like it. So the key phrase for systematic is every nth. So if you take the temperature every 11 minutes, or you stop every 7th car, or you measure the tail of every 3rd dog you see or something, right? Every nth thing. Every nth time unit, every nth object, every nth person, whatever. You guys with me so far? So that's systematic. If I collect grass every 50 feet, that's one way I can kind of test the health of a large area of grass, right? When would systematic not work? What about on an assembly line? It might not work if I'm trying to see, let me take every 5th item off my assembly line, because if too many things are defective, I'm going to have to shut everything down. What if there's some machine that's moving and then it clunks and then it moves and then it clunks and then it moves and then it clunks and then it moves and then it goes dink. So it messes up, but I take every 5th one and I never get one of the pieces that are bad. Do you guys kind of follow what I'm saying? So if there's some kind of a system to the data already, like an assembly line, systematic is a bad way to do things, because you might come in at just the right moment to miss what's important. All right, so you don't always want to use systematic, but it's a perfectly fine thing. What do I want to do? Yeah, let's do these two. Then I've got stratify and cluster. These two start off the same. These two suck so bad. You ready? People really hate these poor little guys because the first step for both of them is the same. The first step for both of them is to break up your population. Yes, sorry. Who's talking to me? CJ. Okay. Break population into groups. That is the first step in both of them. Break up into groups. It's the first step in both of them. Okay, running out of rooms. Too bad, Jeff. So, for example, at a high school, how are students naturally broken up already?
By grade.
Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, yes? Freshmen, hey, freshmen, introduce yourselves. Sorry, thinking back to my high school days. Or you could break things up into zip codes. You can break things up into classrooms. That's just sort of like what I'm thinking about. Like somebody said earlier, you could take certain classrooms. So let's say that there are 3 classrooms on this campus. Tiny, tiny, tiny little school, right? They only have 3 classrooms. Stratify would say, take some from each. So I take maybe 4 students from each class to be my sample. So some from each. Some from each. Notice stratified, some from each. or some from all. You can say it like that to make it sound more like Three Musketeers, right? Some from all and all from some. Right? Because cluster is the other way around. Cluster says all from some. So I would take, randomly select 2 classrooms and take everybody from those classrooms to be in the sample. So this would be some, okay, all from some. Does everybody see the difference there? Does anybody think that either one of these are random? I should have said the same thing about systematic, but we'll come back to it. Stratified cluster, are either one of those examples of random sampling?
I think stratified would be the closest, since you're taking like an even amount from each group.
Okay. So anybody disagree?
I would say both is still random.
Okay. So if you think that either one of these is not random, can you identify for me who didn't have a chance to be in the sample? I'm sorry, Patrina, did you have a?
Yeah, I guess I'm confused by the all from some.
So you have your population broken into groups, in this case, 3 buildings, let's say, right? 3 buildings. Stratified would take some people from each building. Cluster would take everybody from some buildings.
So the buildings are the ones being randomly selected, not the people inside the buildings being randomly
People are
selected.
being selected in each case. It's just here, I take people from every building, and here I take everybody from some randomly selected buildings, yes.
So the second one, the middle building doesn't have an equal chance of being selected.
If I randomly selected the buildings in the first step, which I did these people have a chance?
Yes.
Of course they did. So the mistake people make is they say, well, those people aren't in the sample. I don't give a shit. Not everybody's going to be in the sample, or else the sample doesn't mean anything, correct? Otherwise, it's just a population. So these are both random sample if applied correctly. Because again, this person is not in the sample. Could he have been? Yes. This person is not in the sample. Could he have been? Yes. So it's all about, did everybody have a chance before selection began? Yes, they did. I like it. I like it. If this building, sorry, good.
I was just going to say that so only the first one is labeled as random, but technically all 4 of them are random sampling.
So here's the thing. I had to get a few more up here so I can say this. If the example was I put names in a hat and I select 3 names, which method would that be?
Random.
Random.
That's it. There's no extra thing to it. It is just random. I didn't make any more. If I had 5 hats with different names in them and I selected 3 names from each hat, which method is it?
Stratified.
Stratified. Kick ass. There's more to it than just names in a hat, correct? There's a little more to it. So it's one of these other things. If I had a random number generator, generate social security numbers, and then I went and found those people, which one would that be?
Random.
Random, exactly. It's just randomly making numbers. Do you guys see that? Do you guys understand? Are these random? Yes. Are they more complicated ways to achieve that? Yes. Is that all right? Is everybody okay? Okay. Systematic is also random, because the one thing I didn't say up here is I randomly choose where to start. So if I had a list of every gross month student and I randomly chose which student to start with, and then I took every 300th student, that would be systematic. It would also be random, because then everybody has an equal chance to be chosen. Okay, love it. You guys doing okay? You're all like, man, this is not what I was expecting. Well, chapter 1 is freaking definition hell. We're about to escape. Don't worry. Okay. Let's see, one last one of these. There's 5 of these bad boys. I'm just gonna write it right here. This is the worst one. This is the one we try to never do. It's called convenience. This is bad. Convenience just means we did not do anything to try to make sure it was random. So if I just said, all right, everybody here, just tell me your opinion of Grossmont, and we're going to use that. No, you're a bad sample. I didn't try to be representative of Grossmont at all. I didn't make any attempt. Right? If I just talk to 3 people as they come out of a store and I ask them what they think about the price of milk. And you, what do you think about the price? Yeah, really? Okay, great. I'm going to go write up a story about it. What? Who are you trying to represent? Who are these people? You put no effort into it. Okay, maybe. So convenience is aptly named. You did whatever was convenient without any attempt to make it representative. Okay, I like it. All right. Okay. So before I let you go.
The book had a good one for convenience that said like, if you ask random people leaving a sporting event what their favorite TV channel would be.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like the store thing. Yeah, exactly. You don't know who these people are. You're not trying to make sure they represent whatever population you're going for. Exactly. Hello. Oh, what was I was going to show you one thing. I'll let you guys out of here. Hold on. Don't forget. Okay, let me do a couple things here. Don't forget. I just activated this today, so you might not have seen this before, which is fine. But there's the surveys. There's 2 of them, and they're both pretty quick. One of them, it's anonymous. I don't need your name. The other one, I need your name. Anything you don't feel comfortable answering, don't answer. But I don't think I got anything too personal. I am trying to remember. Statistics is so difficult to get out of the mindset of creating problems where you have male, female, and then you have stuff. And that is not what the world today is. So I want to make sure that I get your accurate pronouns. If you have any different type of pronouns, whatever pronouns you want to be identified by. If you don't want to tell me, don't answer this question. That's fine. Somebody got a kick at it. I like it.
Sorry.
So it's okay. So there's 2 surveys. If you could please fill those in for me as soon as you can. And also, what's happening this Thursday? Anybody? Yeah, there's a quiz. This Thursday, exactly. Where'd it go? You can do it, Jeff. We're there, buddy. No. I want this. There you go. Yeah, quiz 1 on chapter 1 is Thursday. So what we're going to do tomorrow is finish up chapter 1 and then start to get into chapter 2. All right. So you know all the homework for the whole semester. You can get ahead if you want to. You know when quizzes are happening. These, by the way, are not due dates. These are dates that we're going to be in these chapters. The due dates are in Canvas. Yes. So when you come to the main page, you become a student, you'll see here to do. And the dates that they're due. You with me? So I haven't built in the chapter 2 dates yet, but I will. All right, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you are free to run away screaming or however you want to leave.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Professor.
Anytime.
Is the quiz gonna happen like we did it last class, where it's gonna be like right after class?
Yeah, I forgot to say, somebody mentioned, I did say, I've decided not to have the quiz during class. So it's going to be, so we'll talk more about it tomorrow if somebody can remind me to talk about the quiz. Oh, somebody's asking me in the chat, if you get a correct, then correct your mistakes and resubmit it. Yes. I don't, but now you gotta be careful. Okay, so I should have talked about this more too. You only get one shot at correcting anything. No corrections are due until the day of the final. So don't turn corrections in until you feel pretty good about them, right? Talk with a tutor, talk with me, whatever. Because if you turn them in and they're still not good, you'll be stuck at half credit for that assignment. Does that make sense? You get one shot at corrections. If they're not good enough, you'll be stuck at whatever the grade was. Okay. All right. Anything else?
For the homework in the first set, they talk about variables. Are we choosing from the like set of variables we learned about, or is it like a specific thing we're supposed to say?
The section that talks about like fitness center stuff and all
that? For the first set of questions.
Oh,
about
the AIDS patients.
Yes.
So in that case, the variable would be, what question do you want answered about each person in your sample?
Okay.
Right, so the variable is related to the question that you want answered. So for example, if I was talking about the average length of dog's tails, I have no idea why I'm stuck with that. The variable would be the length of one dog's tail. That would be the variable.
Mm-hmm.
And the data would be 7 inches long, 6 inches long, whatever.
Okay. So then the variable for the AIDS patients would just be how long do they live after they receive treatment?
Yeah, how long an AIDS patient lives after receiving treatment.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Well, yeah, somebody remind me tomorrow. There's that later section of homework that starts at 42. I need to talk about that specifically. Forgot. Everybody else okay? Locating the homework. Oh, that's another thing. Dadgummit. All right, hang out. Hold up. This is all being recorded, so that's good. I always, I'm pretty sure I said this in one of my videos. I talked about finding the homework. There is a section called homework, but if you click it, it starts in the 40s. So unfortunately, they have a practice section, which I was excited about because then I thought we could just do practice in class. And then I realized some practice questions are much better than the homework questions or vice versa. So your homework consists of questions that could be in the practice section or the homework section. So practice starts at number 1, see it? And then homework starts later. So if you have the assignment 1 through 5, that's going to be in the practice section. Does that make sense out there? Because I hope that you guys understand. If I get the question, I found number 40, where's the, but I don't know where 1 through 5 is. I'm like, well, turn the page back, maybe. Anyway, sorry. I don't know if somebody believes that's me being snarky, but I think it's just, if you found 40, 1 is probably somewhere before that. All right. Anybody else? You guys okay? All right. I'm going to head out. I don't see anything else. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time.